Yeah, his dad gets up at 3, 4, 5 every morning.
I told Bo in the story, but yes, my dad, his name's Dan, and he gets up every morning, sometimes earlier now because he's just adapted, but he gets up at 3:45 no matter what. Every single morning. We made a bet with him for like $5 or $10 to just talk to 2 girls. On the entire trip.
2 girls.
And he didn't even talk to one. I mean, I'm saying, like, not everybody has that.
Yeah.
I mean, and then, what's it called? And
Scamming?
No.
All right, guys, welcome back to another pod, Beyond the Circle. We are gathered here with our newest All-American, 3-time state champ, Fargo All-American, Gavin fucking Drexler, baby. Let's go.
Pumped to be on.
Good to have you on, buddy.
Yeah. Thank you, boys.
So, why don't you tell me a little bit about your background?
Small town, Wisconsin. Grew up. Have 2 older brothers, younger sister, family of 6.
Did they wrestle too, or is it just you that wrestles?
Yeah, my 2 older brothers, they both wrestled, both through high school. My oldest brother, he wrestled 4 years of college too.
Where at?
University of Wisconsin, Eau Claire. So he had a pretty good career there too. He qualified for the tournament 3 times.
Blood round, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lost like 1 point.
Oh.
Like 30 seconds left in the blood round. Pretty heartbreaking.
That's tough, yeah.
Yeah. No, it was cool having them growing up. I mean, got to see them go through. Kind of like they take the speed bumps for you a little bit almost. And then when you get there, you can kind of learn from them.
Yeah. And your sister's younger than you?
Yeah.
Yeah. And she's goes to Arkansas, right?
Yeah.
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 Damn. That's
Hold on. Is this just all one shot, the video?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I didn't know how this worked.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is that we just clipped in and out?
I didn't know.
So when did you start wrestling and why?
Was it funny? My dad was actually just writing like a little, I don't know what you call it, like a biop or something. Like, is that like a...
Oh, what?
Like a, I don't know, you write a little bit about like yourself, like...
Biography?
Oh.
Yeah, something like that. Well, my dad was just like writing something about me the other day, kind of like where I started and just the journey to how far, or just the journey to where I came from to how far I came and to be like an All-American. And he was just writing, he's like, you started wrestling at the age of 3 when he just took me to the wrestling practices and, I think like when I really started to wrestle was probably like 5th grade, maybe, kind of like right when you're coming out of elementary, going into middle school, and yep. That's
so what do you mean, like really started to wrestle? Like
that's when I started to go to club practices.
Tournament. Oh, go to club practice. Yeah,
and it was nice actually. Our town, for how small it is, we had a ton of people who would travel for competition and wanted to get better in wrestling. So it was kind of like a little bit of the culture in my town too.
Yeah.
So did you start out at Askren, or was there another club?
I never went there.
You never did?
No, I crash train. Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of like the worser Wisconsin club, Yeah.
Don't listen to this bozo.
Well, which one did Waz go to? He went to another one, didn't he?
Waz went to Victory, which, I would say like the main ones in Wisconsin is Askren. Then, Askren's obviously a big one, but then there's Crass, there's Victory, Nazar. I mean, there's a handful of other ones. I'm probably forgetting a few, Sarbacher. But Wasley, he came to Crass for quite a few years growing up, and then Victory opened up, and I'm pretty sure that was just right down the road from him. And, yeah, he switched to go to there.
So, you knew Waz in high school or what?
Yeah. I mean, I thought he was the biggest joker of all time. I mean, he was just funny. He would come into crash practice, and just like how he is now, I mean, you just look at the smile on his face, and yeah, that's what all it takes for you to smile back. So
yeah, that dude's always smiling.
His face has muscles from it.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember when we were shaking hands in the Minnesota line, I thought he was retarded.
from it.
Yeah. Wish. So cool. You can just say whatever you want. I might be a little bit more, I don't know what you would call it. Smooth or not
Filtered?
Yeah. Yeah. But
Fuck it, just roll with it.
Yeah.
So you hit 5th grade, just started going to club practice. Yeah. Give me like a rundown basically from 5th grade to senior year, kind of whatever you want to touch on, whether school, wrestling, any like major highlights.
I'd say like the biggest thing was I went to a different club when I was younger, or like kind of through that 5th grade, 6th grade, 7th grade phase. I went to one called World Gold, where it was coached by Dennis Hall, who was an Olympic silver medalist in Greco. And he ran a really good club. A lot of people from my area went there. And, yeah, I mean, he ran a very good club. And then kind of around or in between that summer going into 8th grade, that's when I switched and moved over to go to Crass just because it was still kind of like relatively the same trip and whatever, or trip to drive there and whatever, and a couple more partners right around my size. And, yeah, worked with him for a lot of years, and that's where I probably made all my biggest leaps and bounds was working with Crass, and just, yeah, learned a lot. And then had a lot of good partners, went to a lot of good tournaments, and, yeah, it was just, that's probably, like, where I really learned that that's what I wanted to do going into college.
Yeah.
So, like, what was, like, the reason behind you, like, switching clubs? Was there a certain reason, or was it just kind of just happened?
It kind of just happened. I mean, I think that at the time, World Gold, they were moving spots, and then me getting mixed in with, like, a few camps that I went to, I kind of got to know some guys who went to Crass, and then I went to Crass's camp one time that summer, and then, yeah, I mean, I was 7th grade. I don't really know exactly, but I think my dad just kind of saw the opportunity that was there, and we started to train there, and, yeah, it worked out really well. Actually, now Dennis is a head coach for Dubuque, yeah. So you know him a little bit.
What's it called? He came down to Texas for, was it senior nationals or senior trials, something like that. Mm-hmm. And then he did a clinic at our club after and showed some good stuff for Greco. No,
he's a great guy. I mean, super grateful to have him kind of be like the foundation of, I would say, like my wrestling career. He was really hard on hand fighting, good position, staying to the basics, and then it was cool. I mean, we had guys in there who were trained Greco and are still training Greco, and a couple of his guys have now made like a world team.
Like Kuntz
boys. Yeah. Yep, they're really tough. You know who Fritz Sherrill is? Mm-mm. Okay, well, he's a little bit bigger, but actually there's 3 Sherrill boys. They all wrestle Greco, and they're really tough, but
yeah.
Where does Peyton Jacobson train?
He was a Ringers OG, and then as time went on, I think he just eventually, and then I think it was, his freshman or sophomore year? I mean, for sure his sophomore or junior year. Let's say it was his sophomore year. He went full-time Greco training at NMU. Mm-hmm. But, like, it was really cool in his area. They had a few guys who were all about it, and one of the coaches, Bill Colley, he saw the opportunity with some of the boys that really liked training Greco, so he took them guys. I can't remember how many exactly, but, yeah, I mean, they have Peyton Jacobson, who made a world team, Benji Peak, who's from Peytonstown, who has been right up in there. I think he made a world team, but just really, really good senior Greco wrestler, and, yeah, just some tough guys.
Is Benji Peak from Wisconsin?
Yeah. He's from Elkhorn. Yeah.
Don't know where that is.
No, you wouldn't, but.
Yeah, because there was the cod during senior trials, Clay got clipped with that little double inside. I was like, dang, that was clean, but.
Wait, with Benji?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, he's slick, bro. He's tall, too.
Yeah.
My brother Manny used to scrap with him a lot back in the day. I think Benji beat him like 5 times to Manny's 1. But I'll never forget the time that he beat him. It was like 5 seconds left on a restart, just like normal folk style. and Manny took him down, and it was like a dominating the Dells. You guys ever heard of that tournament?
Yep.
Yeah.
I've heard of it.
I don't know. Maybe I got to talk closer to this thing, just making sure it's catching it. But, yeah, Benji was really tough. And then through training with, like, a club called Combat that me and my brothers went to as we kind of got older, that's where, like, Peyton went to. Benji went to another one, Alston Nutter, who's a really tough senior, Greco wrestler. And, yeah, just a handful of guys that are now, like, competing, like, senior level. We went there. Growing up, we drive, like, 3 hours to practice with them. So, yeah.
How often you do that?
We did it once a month for, I think, 2 years. Yeah.
3 hours one way and 3 hours back?
Yeah.
Wow.
But it was worth it. We went there, trained, like, probably, like, 4 or 5 hours.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Just hang out. That's actually where Clay went to go and train. But if anyone gets to meet Lucas, I mean, he's a great coach, but he's a character. He's funny to be around. Good person. Yeah.
So how old are your brothers, like, compared to you?
Jake just turned 25. Okay, I was just making sure.
I always forget, too.
Because we've been giving him shit, being like, dude, you're like 28 now. Hold on. I think he's 25. No, he might be 26, actually. Boy, time is flying by. Yeah, he's 26. He's 26. Okay, and then Manny is 23 going on 24 right now.
What are they up to now?
Manny is finishing up school at Northwestern.
Okay.
And then he's halfway. Well, I should specify a little bit. Northwestern is a graduate school for chiropractor in Minneapolis.
Okay.
But then he's 5 out of the 10 semesters through. And then,
10 semesters?
trimesters.
Oh.
Yeah,
I was gonna
trimesters.
say, damn.
So it's 3 years total schooling.
Yeah.
And then Jake he worked 2 years for Rudis, actually. He was a salesman for there. And
Wow.
That's pretty
yeah,
cool.
yeah, it was kind of cool, actually. He got some good connections through there. And I mean, just being a wrestler, working for a wrestling company right after you graduate college and whatnot. But now he's back home working with my parents and our kind of family business sign company.
What do you guys do for your guys' family business?
It's all things sign, graphics, kind of like decals,
Okay.
Like that type of stuff. We do a lot of that. So, I mean, yeah, just all that type of stuff.
What's it called?
Stratford Sign Company.
Oh, yeah.
Shout out.
Heck
Yeah.
yeah.
So do they do signs like just in the area or for anybody anywhere? Or how does that work?
Anybody, anywhere. They have like kind of a bigger one of their clients from Buffalo, New York.
Yep.
And it's kind of cool. I honestly don't know exactly like how it all works, like what they do for them type of people. But yeah, a lot of it is, I would say, local, regional, and then I'd say a little bit of it is across the nation.
Sure.
You think you're going to get into that after college or?
I think I'd like to.
Okay.
It'd be really cool.
Yeah.
How big is it?
Around 40 to 50 employees.
Oh, wow.
Pretty big, yeah.
That's a good sized business going.
Yeah.
And your dad started that from scratch, right?
Started it from my grandparents' garage.
Wow.
He started the business out of a garage. And then at that time, my grandpa was in business with another person from our town who we're longtime friends with, but they owned kind of like boy, I'm really blanking on what the word is, but like they sell like lawnmowers, chainsaws, like whatever you would think for like a town like that.
Yeah.
And
Just
then,
like a hardware store.
yeah, kind of something like that a little bit. But then my dad started working out of there a little bit, started to get a few more jobs, eventually bought his first building. And then from there, that building's just kind of kept expanding. And yeah, it's pretty sweet now just to see like how far he's come to.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive.
How old was he when he started? In your
23.
Wow.
22. It was right out of college.
And he's just been doing that since, huh?
Yeah, just had the 30th anniversary like 2 years ago,
Wow.
I think.
Awesome.
That's awesome, yes.
What do you go to college for? Like business? Is that what he wanted to do? Or did he just say?
He went to school for, I think it was industrial. Oh, shoot. I feel bad for not knowing it, but industrial or like something in that field. Kind of, not necessarily engineering, but kind of similar. But yeah. So then he went to school for that. I think he knew like that's what he kind of wanted to do. But yeah, it's just cool to see how much he's come.
Yeah, pretty sweet. So let's talk a little bit about like your season this year and how it went. Like, what are your thoughts on it? Obviously, you All-American. I mean, that's the goal. But like you had some ups and downs. Obviously, along the season. Like, are you looking at like next year, like how to account for that, how to fix that, or like what are your plans going into next year, and like how you thought about this season?
I would say the biggest thing that I learned from this year was that you can't be going 100 miles an hour the whole time. Like at a certain time, you got to know when to take your foot off the gas when it comes to your training, and then when to amp it up, and just kind of being able to, I would say, predict when things are going to get harder. Like for me, it was the middle of the season where things kind of got harder, and I've kind of noticed that a bit too in my last few years. But it's kind of the middle of the season and then towards the end. That's when you're kind of just doing like your duels and stuff. So, you're making weight every week for, which kind of sucks. You got to weigh in for a single match that takes 7 minutes, sometimes more than 7 minutes, but let's say it's 7 minutes versus a tournament to where you can get 3, 4, 5 matches in one tournament in a day, which is a lot more bang for your buck. So I think, like, to me, like, it doesn't make a lot of sense for me. I think it's dumb. I think we should do, like, more quad duels or tri duels, a little bit more tailored to the athletes.
Yeah,
but
I would agree with you 100% in the fact that it's silly that you have to make weight for one match. But the problem is you want to try to draw in as many spectators as you can.
Yeah, you have to do it this way.
You have to duel. What I think a good solution would be instead of the season being 5-6 months long, you shrink it down to 4 months. You make it so it starts right after, like right at the beginning of January and go until April, because then you miss out on March Madness, like you don't overlap that. And then you just start with the first 2 months be just duels.
Well, and it'd be spring semester.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. That's the other thing too. It would only be one semester sport, but the first 2 months do duels, and then the back 2 months just do tournaments. And however you'd like to space that out. That's what I think would make the most sense, because then you could still get both, and then you could even do a dual national tournament at the end of the year, which I think they're going to try to do next year or something like that.
Actually?
Yeah, I think so.
Like a bunch of teams already.
Like
Oklahoma State, Iowa, Ohio State, Purdue, Michigan.
Minnesota. Yeah.
We got to start sharpening our axe right now.
Yeah.
But I think, I totally agree with that. Like, I think the length that it is right now is too much. I mean, our preseason starts September, and we don't get done until the end of March. If people really knew, like...
Yeah, and that's just folk style.
Just folk style.
Right.
If people really knew, like, just the type of, like, just the shit that you go through, I mean, you would have just a lot more respect. And I'm not saying, like... Like, oh, yeah, I mean, we have it hard, this and that. Like, yeah, there's other sports that work really, really hard, too. I'm not saying that no one else works as hard as we do. But, I mean, it's just the length, the duration, and then when you mix it in with, I mean, constant injuries, everyone kind of has to do early mornings no matter what. But early mornings for wrestling, if you're a guy who's got to cut weight, I mean, you got to do extra workouts on your own that aren't required on top of however much you got to do that week. So, I mean, it's a lot. I think we could definitely bring it down. I've always thought it'd be kind of cool to have a preseason tournament, like almost like the national championship, like a preseason tournament where, let's just say, every school sends whoever is their guy at that weight, and then we'll do a mid-season tournament, and then, like, this wouldn't make sense, but I just hypothetically, this would be kind of cool. Us tournament in the beginning of the year, middle of the year, and end of the year, and kind of just see, like, and then take, like, the average, because in my eyes, I see guys who peak in the first month of the season versus I think the majority kind of peak towards the end, but then you got to factor in, like, you're getting hurt. There's guys who can't wrestle the tournament, like Max this year, Peterson. Right. He couldn't wrestle the tournament because tore his pec. Yeah. Like, I mean, you got to feel for people who go through stuff like that. And, I mean, it's a little bit unfair, honestly. And I know, like, all college sports do this, but, like, your entire season is just judged off of how it goes at the end of the year. Yeah. Like, no one really, really cares about the front half of the season.
Yep.
And I think, like, the more you realize it, the more, I shouldn't say, like, our whatever is pointless, but, like, if you are planning, I don't know, it's like you should plan to be your best at the end of the year. And, shoot, what else was I going to say? Oh, I was just listening to, like, Burroughs talk a little bit down at the national tournament. He was just chatting with some guy, and I was just kind of eavesdropping. But he was talking to some dude, and I was warming up for my match. But he was like, yeah, man, it's really unfortunate that, you know, these kids, their entire season is just based off of, well, I mean, then if you make it to the national tournament, it's just based off how you do at the tournament. And he's like, when you get guys who, I mean, I don't know who necessarily point out, let's go like Ridge Lovett. Like, he was undefeated all last season. He got to the national tournament, and he got 6th, which is still amazing. Like, when you think, like, of an achievement, like, that's still amazing. Like, nothing to be ashamed of. But it was like, I know what his goal was, and that was to win it. And but now, like, in hindsight, he comes back this year. If he went through that, maybe he wouldn't have, you know, learned as much as he did and, you know, became a national champ this year. But, yeah, it is just kind of crazy. Like, a lot of sports, it's just based on the postseason. Yeah, so
it really is. I'd say even wrestling is less because it's like a lot of other sports, your record determines a lot. I mean, I guess your record matters a little here, but I feel like it matters more in other sports.
I think we could almost do a system similar to, like, what professional golf does. Like, you have the PGA Championship, where it's whoever plays the best throughout the entire season, they win that. And then you have a big tournament like the Masters. And that's sweet. It's like, yeah, everyone wants to, you know, win a green jacket, you know, but, like, then it's also cool, like, whoever wins the PGA Championship is the most consistent player for that entire year.
Yep.
Or that entire season, which I think that alone is an accomplishment, just whoever can do that. But in wrestling and a lot of other sports, it's just however you do at the end of the year, that's where you get judged.
Yeah,
so
pretty much.
And, like, fortunately for me, I was on the
good end of
it. Good end of it this year, but, like, yeah, and last year I was definitely on the tail end of it, and it kind of sucked. But yeah.
I'd actually like you to back up a little bit, talk a little more about Stratford.
Sure.
Like, going, say, start from freshman year of high school. Also, like, where's Stratford located? How big is it? And then, like, high school class, play any other sports, stuff like that.
All right. Stratford is almost like the exact center of the state of Wisconsin, so it's really central. We have, I think our population's 1,600, so it's not very big, but there's a couple other towns around us that are a bit bigger. But we're 1,600. I played football and baseball all the way through middle school. Our town actually is the most winning state championship football team in the state, which is pretty sweet. My dad, his senior year, is when they, like, started. They won their first title when my dad was a senior. But then we'd really never had a deep tradition in wrestling up until about, like, let's say it started 15 years ago. Maybe even not that long ago, but, like, right when I was kind of starting to grow up, we got to be better at wrestling. And then our coach at the time, you know, he started a lot of good things, like a little youth club throughout the summer where we would come out to actually his barn. And it was like a shed, and we did shed wrestling. And it was honestly really cool. But, like, looking back at it, it's just, like, crazy that that's what we did. Like, I don't know if that would really fly in today's world. Just drive some kids out in the country and have them wrestle in your shed, which, I mean, that's literally what it was like.
Yeah. I think a lot of small town kids just have to do that.
Yeah.
like even now, I think
you have to probably go through that a little bit.
Yeah, I mean a little bit, but it's
Right.
like I feel like if you're a small town kid, there's just not much at your town always, so you got to drive, and then it's usually in a really random facility that you guys kind of meet up and whatever.
Yeah, I thought it was like really cool though, and actually our head wrestling coach for the longest time, I don't know how many years he coached for. He's still doing it, but his son and I were like really good buddies growing up, and we did a lot of stuff together, and it was nice, being friends with my coach's son, and then getting coached by him later. It's like I kind of already had the relationship with him by the time I got to be in high school and whatnot. And yeah, then we had a 4-timer from my high school who's now kind of back and helping coach, and then we had a couple 3-timers. Kid who went undefeated and then went on to wrestle 5 years in Division I college. And yeah, I mean, that's kind of like where it started, and just growing up with that a little bit, it didn't make like any of my achievements seem like that crazy, because like it had already been done, by a lot of other people. So I think like just kind of having that standard, you have a little bit different way of thinking, I would say, and it just kind of helped me propel into like, I don't know, being the wrestler I am today. So
I want you to like give us a little rundown of the recruiting process that you went through.
Yeah, I don't know like at all who called me first or whatnot, but I talked to, let's say like the other schools that I kind of like talked to just a little bit, or like University or Northern Illinois, Little Rock, and University of Penn, like a little bit. But then like the only ones that I really considered going to was like NDSU, Minnesota, Wisconsin, just because it was all local, and I don't know, I still thought them were all the best bets. And yeah, like towards the end, I was like kind of like, yeah, there's no other place I'd rather come than NDSU. So yeah, I don't know if it was anything specific other than it just felt like home. The schooling was good. Athletics was good. Coaches were cool. I mean, just everything that you kind of look for.
Yeah.
But more than anything, I mean, Fargo just does not seem like that big of a city. So coming from such a small town, I didn't want to move to where I'm looking up at tall buildings everywhere I walk.
Yep.
So
I feel like that's pretty big for a small town kid.
Yeah.
It's those big cities. It's like holy shit.
I
It's
know.
like why?
It's
would I
just
come
too many people to deal with too. It's like
piss on
it's
it.
like,
We're not
why?
doing that.
Like,
Yeah.
why do we
Yeah.
have to have this many people in one place?
Yeah, a lot of blue-haired people going around too. It's like Jesus.
Yeah, now we got to loosen up, really speak our mind now.
So, when you originally came here, you had the old coaching staff, and then
Yeah.
you were here through it all. So, like, what was it kind of like going through that process of getting new coaches and like a lot of guys leaving, and then like now where we're at now?
I mean, I'm not gonna like sugarcoat it. It wasn't like cool or anything. Like it was a bit of a bummer, but like as time went on, I mean, looking back at it, it's like I'm glad things happened the way they did. In a sense, it's like everything happens for a reason. I truly believe. I think some things you could argue not, but like, maybe it just takes longer to realize why things happen. But like, yeah, it was like, dang, this kind of sucks. After 1 year, not only am I losing, 3 of my 4 coaches, but a lot of, the guys that I got to be close with in that first year. And I think it was a bit of like a leap of faith. I mean, I had a lot of trust and hope, and yeah, just a lot of trust in Obi. Like he knew what he was doing. Probably like one of the best technicians I've ever worked with. Great mind too in the sport. I mean, he's wrestled at the highest level. So it's like, if you want to learn from a guy who's really, really good and been through a lot, ton of experience, I mean, he's your guy. So it was like, it was nice knowing like, yeah, we're losing this, but we still have him, and he was enough for me to stay. And I mean, more than that, but like, along with that, but like, yeah, my friend stayed for that next year for the most part. Like all the guys in my class did.
Yeah, your guys' class was pretty rock solid.
Yeah, we were.
We
were for sure. But yeah, then like, as time went on, kind of started to figure some more things out. And I'd say like right now where we're at for our like team culture, chemistry. It's the best that I've seen since I've been here, including my first year.
Yeah.
Like, it's just cool. Like, you guys, like, starting this podcast are like, I don't know. I mean, you look around when we play dodgeball, it's like there's not a dull moment.
Yeah.
When we're doing just silly things that most people wouldn't think too much of. So
100%. Yeah, the coaching change too, it really like opened my eyes, and it really disgusted me because I felt like those 3 coaches were incredibly money hungry. Like,
damn, go in.
I mean, it was just pathetic. And I want to put this out here. NDSU had 1 All-American. Oklahoma had right here. So that's all I got to say about that.
I think a lot of it too about like you saying like trust the process.
Yeah.
Big thing that you like trusted the process because
Right.
you could have easily just like went and left and stuff like that. But it's like, and like how you said earlier, like you're a big believer on like how everything happens for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
I truly believe like stuff like that. It's like,
And like the thing is like, if you try to like think like, oh, it should have been this way, then you just keep playing like what ifs, could have been this, that. It's like, well, what happens is what actually happened. And, you know, what happened is Obi stayed. He became our head coach, and he's turning things around, or what do you call it, turn a new leaf, whatever. And we got great people around us, a good community, and it's like, that's pretty much all you need. Now you just got to get the right guys. Like, I would say, like, all the guys that we have on our team that believe, want to get better. And, yeah, I mean, you just keep, what do you say, put the pennies in the bank.
Yeah.
And then,
put the pennies in the bank.
and then eventually it pays out.
compound
Yeah.
interest.
And then you put it on red. Maybe not.
But,
You have to at some point. That's for sure.
Well, scratchers for sure. Did you tell anyone about your story?
When we went down.
Yeah, well, we got a degenerate gambler here.
Yeah. I mean, it's really bad. Like,
But filming like what are like your favorite things? Like all of like the worst possibility. Well, I guess I would say the worst.
I mean, just something about scratchers. I love them. I mean, they're worthless. You never win on them. But for some reason, like we drive into Minneapolis, first thing I see is that Minnesota Lotto, and I go right into that when we hit the airport. So I rip a scratch off when we're in the airport, about to go to Miami, lose. Come back, first thing, hit a scratcher, lose, and then me and Drex are heading back at like 1 a.m. We make a pit stop at a gas station, and I'm like, oh, one more scratcher should work. So get a
Time's a charm.
Yep, get a $5 scratcher, $100 by the way. So that, I mean, that worked out, but
We hit one of these like right here. When he won that, I mean, it was like, wow.
yeah.
It didn't matter any of the money we spent on that trip. He was up 90 at that point. So,
Yeah.
take a little payout on deposit.
yeah.
Yeah. Keep putting pennies in the bank.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right.
Actually,
So he put it all on black and he lost, but I mean, it
But
was
I came back though.
no, you took the 90 and then you gambled it away again.
actually, I want you guys to talk about your guys' little UFC trip to Miami.
Dude. I mean, we could talk about this all day. It was really cool. Really, really cool. This is something that I've wanted to do for a long time. I just genuinely didn't think I was ever going to, like, be able to make it work. Just because, like, you never know when a card's exactly going to be, where it's going to be, who's going to be on it. But, like, I saw this one coming together, and I'm like, all right, I'm like, you're not going to believe this, but this thing that we are going to be going to is going to be, like, the coolest thing ever. And Bowden was like, I'm in. I don't care. I don't care what it is, how much it is, just sign me up. And I'm like, all right, sounds good. So, I mean, when you got a guy like that, you could talk him into doing a lot of things. Yeah. But I wasn't going to talk him into doing anything he wasn't wanting to do. So we're going to Miami. I asked one of my other buddies from back home, and then Tanner Gerber too. And, yeah, invited them guys, and we all went. I mean, it was just really cool. Not only was, like, Miami a sweet spot, but, like, or not only were, like, the fights really cool, but, like, Miami was, like, an ideal spot.
Oh, Miami, it was crazy. And the arena's right by the ocean. It is unbelievable. Yeah. It is unbelievable. And just, like, how casually such an exotic lifestyle is lived, like just in that little thing, is unbelievable. It's like there's $1 million cars going all around you all the time, and it's like it's nothing once you're there for a while. And then there are literally the most beautiful girls you've ever seen in your whole life, just like everywhere. And it's like, this is unbelievable.
Yeah, Bowden couldn't really contain himself around that.
No, Grease couldn't contain himself. He had analysis paralysis. We'll just say that.
We made a bet with him for like $5 or $10 to just talk to two girls. On
Two girls.
The entire
Two
trip.
girls.
And he didn't even talk to one. I mean,
Oh my Lord.
I didn't even like that's like it would have been like it would have been like a charity pay to like anyone else.
Yeah.
If you like made it with them, they're like, oh, no problem, I'll right here. But yeah.
Hey, he did talk to, what's her name?
OT,
yeah.
OT Megan,
OT Megan.
Overtime Megan. He talked to this one girl, which if you're not familiar, Overtime Megan. I'm not familiar with her, so I don't know why I say if you're not familiar, but apparently she's big on Instagram, goes to a lot of sporting events, supposed to be good looking. Griezmer goes up, talks to her, and he claims that counts as talking to two girls.
Can I get your picture?
Yeah. But no, it's just funny. I think that just goes to show like who Grease is. You know, I don't know.
You got a picture with
I mean,
her there?
he's funny.
He
but
did.
Like, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my Lord.
Yeah, it was really funny. Any chance that he got, there was an excuse on why he couldn't in that moment. Griezmer, right here. Dude, I'm just not really feeling it right now.
There's just so many around me, guys.
There's just too much going on. We gotta get to this restaurant so we can eat. Like, we're on a schedule or just anything that he could come up with.
This chick's alone. I just can't talk to her.
No, we tried a little bit of some like other foods that we're not used to too.
Yeah, we went Cuban, Italian.
Yeah.
It was really good. All the food was really good.
And then what else? I feel like there's something that we've never eaten before that we got there. Maybe not. But the
Probably.
Cuban food was good.
Yeah.
Then yeah, the fights though, I mean, for any of you guys who didn't watch the fights, I mean, they're amazing. Like UFC 314 is for sure the best card of the year so far. But I mean, I think like it was one of the better cards in the last few years. Well, I should say it was one of the better cards in the last while. But yeah, I mean, it was worth it. Stayed at a solid place. Yeah, checked out a lot of Miami. I just wish we could have had more you boys there.
Yeah.
Would have been good.
I mean, we're watching it at our house, and it was pretty damn cool to watch.
Didn't you guys say that you saw us or something?
Someone saw
Yeah,
you.
I think it was
Dante told me.
It was Magana, wasn't
Yeah,
it?
From
Magana,
Magana.
he sent a
Yeah.
snap,
Okay,
yeah.
that's what it was.
So here, would you rather watch it in person or would you rather watch it on a TV?
Are you kidding me with that
Just
question?
asking.
No, it's not Cody. Come on.
Because, like, I don't know, like the comfort of your house.
Would you rather eat food in person or eat food from a screen?
I just. I don't know.
You should break your neck for that one.
You want some Wi-Fi water to hydrate you? There's nothing that compares, bro. You're in the environment. Bruce Buffer was 30 feet away from us.
Trump, too.
Dana White, Joe Rogan, Donald Trump. We talked to Zac Efron for a few minutes. Bowden sat next to a big beef jerky company.
Yeah, Chomps.
Or Beef Sticks brand, the owner of Chomps.
Yeah.
Which we were sitting in seats we weren't supposed to. But just like anything, I mean,
You make it happen.
you got to make it happen.
Yeah.
Like, we paid for some nosebleed seats, but we weren't going to settle for that. I mean, you always got to take more than what you
Find a
can.
way.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
find a way.
And that's like may or may not have happened. We maybe did that, you know. It's
No, we really bent over the UFC. And it was actually really, really funny. I was telling this story just like a few people from back home. But so me and my buddy Tanner, we were sitting in these seats at this time. And honestly, I don't know where you and Griezmer went. I mean, things were kind of getting a little unorganized and whatnot. But so we made it down on this floor, which wasn't supposed to happen anyways. And we sit like second row in the like expensive fan section.
like
Where
literally as close as you can get to the ring without being like a celebrity. That has
Which, yeah, I mean, it really was like, I mean, there's no other way to put it. It was pretty dope. But, yeah, some rich dude was sitting in front of us, kept ordering food, and then anything he didn't eat just would hand back to me and Gerber. Then we went back, sat up in our section for a little bit, and we just started giving the food to like the people in our section. They're like, oh my gosh, like that's so cool. And we're like, yeah, we didn't pay for this or anything. But then we sat there for like 5 minutes, and then we're like, dang, these seats aren't even close to what we were just sitting at. So we were like, let's go try one more time, because the main card was starting, and me and Gerber had been sitting down here for a little bit, and we were like, let's maybe go see if we can find Griezmer and Bowden. So we were like, yeah, let's leave. You know, if we don't get these seats again, that's fine. But then, as it came to be, they were already down. Were you guys down on the floor?
Yeah, we like got down to the lowest level without being on the floor yet. And I had to do a lot of convincing to get Grease to try to go down. But we eventually snuck our way down.
So how did you do it? Because I know how we did it, but I want to hear how you got it.
So we were like, you know where we ended up? Like at the very end, on the, like down there. So we were like directly straight backing up from that, but like as close as you could be to that. Mm-hmm. So then we went like around, down, in, and then down like through the middle one, because there was nobody checking on that middle one.
Dude, I don't know. Whatever UFC had going on, I mean, their security was not that great.
No. It was like they'd guard some of them, and then they just wouldn't guard the other ones. Or like you'd have some...
So you can't tell us you wouldn't do the same. Because
yeah, exactly. You'd have some juggernauts, like a guy, you'd try to get in, he'd be like, no, sir, let me see your ticket. And then you'd have some chick who's like, right here. And it's just like she's not paying attention at all.
And you could show her your section 416 ticket, and she'd let you in section 8 on the floor.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I mean, that's how me and Gerber did it. The second time, Gerber and I, we thought it was going to be a bit harder to do it again while the main card was going. So, Gerber busted out the editing app, and he, like, I don't know what he blended the number in to make it look like it didn't exist, and then he just pasted the number 8 there, and it looked like we just bought it off Ticketmaster. So we get down on the floor, and yeah, the lady, same thing what Bowden was just saying. She lets us in here, and we're like, dang, that was easier than the first time. But then, yeah, we went there. Bowden and Griezmer were already sitting there. Then, yeah, I mean, hung out.
Yeah, it was a good time.
What were your guys' favorite fight from that card?
Oh, boy. I mean, I would say Chandler and Patty. Probably Chandler and Patty.
That's what I was going to say, too.
Like, that one was tough to beat. Also, as we were coming in, some dude who was clearly from Europe was, like, speaking in his voice. He was like, would you boys want to get in an interview? Or I can't make a fake British accent very good, but he was like, hey, you guys, who you got in a fight, Patty or Chandler? And we're all like, oh, Patty all day, Patty all day. And then we're like, dang, who is that guy? Look him up. He's got 2.7 million followers on Instagram.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
JD Sports, who was doing the interview with us.
Yeah, it was nuts. We didn't make it on the page, though, sadly.
No, we didn't. He didn't use our clip. But, I don't know.
Which is crazy to me, because we kind of did a little bit.
We did. Like, it was, yeah, I mean, just some classic beauties.
Yeah.
Like, you think we'd make it on there.
Some classic.
But, yeah, they didn't like it for some reason.
But, yeah, then when Volkanovski started the fight, I started this kind of rumor that I put 10 grand on him to win. I put 10 grand on him and Patty to win. And now that Patty won, I was like, I could feel it. So everyone in my section, I was kind of letting them know, like, this fight was really important to me. So then when he did win, I went up and I started, like, hugging people and like shaking people's hands and be like, man, this is gonna be a good night. Now, you know, I just won $65,000 on this wager. So because when you're sitting in this fan section, you know, you kind of gotta make it seem like you belong.
Yeah, because it's like you're sitting by millionaires.
Yeah.
And yeah.
So then me and Griezmer are walking out. Bowden and Gerber were finding their way out too, but. So me and Kate, and we run into Zac Efron. He just happens to be standing right like next to the fence that we were like walking out of, and we're like, "Hey, what's up, dude?" And he was like literally like the most like chill dude you ever met. He's like, he was like, "What's going on, guys? What do you think about the fights? This and that." And I'm like, "Oh, it was so cool, so cool." I put 10 on Pimblett and Volk to win. It paid out 75. Take in mind, this is Zac Efron. Like, I think we all know who he is. You know, he's a big movie celebrity star. I don't know how much he's got in the bank. And he looks at me and he goes, "Are you serious? Like, what do you do for a living?" And then like I took like a second to like think, and I was like, my buddy Griezmer goes, "He's into real estate." And then I'm like, yeah. Or maybe he said his parents have money or something like that.
And he said daddy's money.
Daddy's money. That's what he said. He said daddy's money. And I was just like, yeah. And Zach was like, oh, that's cool, whatever. And then I just started telling him that if you ever, was in need of a stunt double for a movie, that my brother Jake kind of looks like him a little bit, and he could easily use him, whatever. And then I said that his last movie on Netflix, which was called The Family, Family Affair or something like that. It was actually kind of good. It was like a little bit of like a chick flick or like a rom-com, but it was all right. I was like, "You killed it in that movie, man. You killed it." And he was like, "Thanks, man. I really appreciate it." But yeah, I mean, just so casual.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
It is crazy though how all these people who you'd think would just be up in the stars, they're just not. Like they're regular people.
100%.
And I mean, that's not everybody, but there's people who think they're better than you, even if they're really poor. So it's like you have that kind of person at every category of wealth. But I feel like for the most part, they're very down to earth people.
I would have literally been so cool, like if we would have sat down and hung out with anybody that night.
Yep.
Like anybody that you meet that you think has some sort of like value or worth or like status. Like at the end of the day, the people who are around them, they have like a normal community or like just like support people around them, family, friends, just like you and I do. And they communicate the same. It's not like they don't know like how to shake your hand or like have a conversation with you. And like once that I kind of like realized that, it's like it's just cool. Like, I mean, you can like the only thing that makes these people seem the way that they are is because, I mean, you see them all over your phone more. They are probably pretty good at whatever they do because they made it big. But then, like, if you just change your perception, like, they're just a normal person. And, like, it just doesn't make it seem as crazy.
Yeah, and going to the UFC, it really made me realize, like, if you just put yourself in environments with really high-level people, like, you can almost imposter yourself in there.
Yeah.
And then you're kind of there a little bit. It's like if you start to know these people, you just never really know what you're going to fall into. That's like a lot of people will say you get lucky, but it's like, yeah, maybe I did get lucky, but I put myself in position to get lucky,
Like that saying, whatever you are whoever you like surround yourself with.
Yes.
You're the average of the 5 people.
5?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Absolutely.
Something like that, but it's like, I believe that, yeah.
100%.
100%.
Yeah, but just touching on that too, like, also, like, you guys can talk more too if you want to, but whatever. But what Bowden was saying, like, about that, like, we're sitting here and Bowden gets the owner of this beefsteak company, Chomps, his contact. And it's like, if we were to never take that risk of going down there, now who knows, like, what that, maybe it means nothing, but maybe it does mean something. And it's like, just who knows, like, what you might get or fall into if you just show up. It's like, if you just show up, like, something could happen, but if you don't show up, it's like guaranteed nothing.
Exactly.
So it's like, yeah, put yourself in situations, like, take opportunities that come to you, and who knows, something that you might do for the rest of your life could do that.
And it's like, the way that I look at it too is if I meet, like, I'm really interested in the business world, right?
Yeah.
So Chomps is a great example. Like, if I meet this guy and then somehow I talk to him or I apply for a job that I definitely shouldn't be getting right out of college, but I fall into something that pays $200,000, $300,000, $500,000, and I get to see what this is all about. It's like, it's because I put myself there, and it's not just because I got lucky. It's like, well, I put myself there.
100%. 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like everything that you did up until that point put you in that position too. So it's like, in a sense, you earned it.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, yeah. I think that's pretty cool. Networking is huge. Sometimes it's not what you know, it's who you know. I would say a lot of the times it's that.
Yeah, for sure.
A lot of the times it's that. So.
Yep.
And that's how the rich get richer. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
No kidding. You just chill with Chomps and Zac Efron.
Yeah. True.
All right, what's the next one?
You want to go in a little, like, rapid fire questions?
No.
Crazy.
Yeah, I don't care.
Whose
Let's
idea
go.
that was, huh?
Yeah.
All right, let's.
Thought we were gonna switch it up, Cody.
Yeah. Let's go to some like.
Hold on.
What's up?
Before we get going with this, let's just like not try to breeze past. You didn't even know what island you were from in Hawaii. Like,
I know what.
We gotta
Thank you,
hold
Drex.
them to how crazy, like that is. Like you've lived here.
Yeah.
No, I know
grew
what
up
island.
here.
Like if I look at a map of
If I look at a map-
I can point there.
Well, if I look at a map, you guys didn't let me look at a map. If I could look at a map, I can point out and be like, that island
but you
right
should
there.
know what order it's in.
No, I
Look
shouldn't.
at your state.
There's 8 islands.
There's 8 islands.
It's not. You know the 50 states. And you don't know 8 islands that you live on.
I know their names. I just don't exactly off the top of my head. No, boom, on a map.
Put
I
a
know-
poll. Put a poll.
Yes.
Say, should Cody have known?
I know
Thank
what.
you.
If you show me
Yes.
a map, I can point it out.
Well, we're gonna let the people decide. Just no matter what.
Okay.
I think you should know what order it's in.
No, I shouldn't.
It's your own state. Like that's where you came from.
Okay. Well,
Like you don't learn that in elementary.
I know
Dude,
now.
if you told me to say a county in North Dakota, which there's a lot, and you told me which one, I could point it out.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I could probably get in the
I
vicinity
can
too.
point out which city on the island where it's at. It's not the same thing. There's so much.
No
fucking-
kidding, it's actually easier.
No,
There's 8 islands.
yeah. I don't know off the top of my head.
Okay.
This
Okay.
is the big island.
Okay,
and I'm
chat.
going from-
We're gonna move on just because I can't let Cody keep getting just grilled right here. But
All right.
Give him some questions.
All right. Let's give you some fun questions, huh?
okay.
Okay.
So what do you guys got going on the rest of the
Favorite food?
Ooh. I just steak.
Steak.
Yeah.
What cut?
Don't worry about it.
Just anything that's steak is steak.
I don't know. I mean, like what is it? Filet mignon. That's typically
mignon.
like the most tender.
That's like yeah. Okay.
We'll go with that.
You like medium rare?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You look like
This
a
guy.
medium. You look like a
Okay.
well done guy.
You might as well keep it to yourself now.
Oh,
Oahu.
Wow.
okay. Here's this one.
Why you like?
Here's
Why you like? Look at him.
he's like getting ready. It's some stance in motion or
So-
something.
Why you like trying to like put me on the spot? Just ask whatever the question
Yeah,
is.
I am asking questions.
Yeah.
Yeah, you are.
So
Ask him.
okay. How much ice cream do you think you could put down in one sitting?
Okay.
Oh, that's a good one.
Well, now we're talking. Yeah. Now we're in my game right here. Realistically, I mean, I could put a gallon down.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, gun to my head, easily. You got to think about that.
Okay, but like, what's the flavor you're choosing?
Oh, whatever.
Anything. Just ice
My favorite flavor?
cream that you would put down. What's it?
Yeah. I heard you're a pretty big ice cream guy.
Yeah, I mean, I'll go strawberry swirl. The only reason I say this is this video of me when I was hanging out with some of my buddies back in high school, and we were watching UFC fights, right? I order this strawberry swirl ice cream or I pick it up from our local grocery store, and we're sitting here, and I totally forgot that I had it in my car, and I go out there, and it's all melted. So I take this thing, and I just start drinking it. And then one of my buddies, he thought it was really funny. He always just gave me crap about it.
Was it
like,
good?
oh, it was amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No
amazing.
That's all that matters.
Well, yeah, it was pretty. I didn't drink the whole thing, but like I probably could have, to be honest, in 10th grade.
Oh, yeah.
Just imagine what I can do now. You know what I mean?
Exactly. You prep since.
Yeah, my XP is higher.
True. Level 100.
All right, so we're gonna do a little like blind ranking. So it's like
I would like it if Bowden asked me these.
You like rather have Bowden ask?
I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
I'll do
I'm
the
giving you
blind
crap.
ranking's my thing. I'll,
All right,
I'll do that.
you got
Okay. Okay. So we're doing this segment with every guest. This is how
Yeah.
this works. So we got 5 slots here. It's going to be a category. I'm going to give you something, and then you have to put it in a slot without knowing what comes next. Okay. So the category is ice cream. Okay, and these are gonna be very specific.
Wait, like blind ranking, like S tier, A tier, or what do you?
No, so like 1 would be your favorite, 5 would be your least favorite. I'm gonna
Oh,
give you something,
yeah.
and then you put it there.
Right.
Okay. First one, chocolate peanut butter cup.
Honestly, chocolate flavor ice cream is not that great. I'll go 4.
Okay. Neapolitan.
Oh, I'll go 3.
Yeah.
Cotton candy.
I'm really hoping we got some.
He's not liking it.
Ballparkers next to, but cotton candy. I'll go 5.
Yep. Strawberry cheesecake.
Oh, money.
Just what you were looking for.
Put it at 1.
Mint chocolate chip.
Perfect,
coming
too.
in.
Oh, that's a perfect list.
That was pretty good.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie.
I mean, dang. Ask Chad how I did. I think that's as good as I can be right there.
Dude, the way you showed me how chat works, so how like it knows this.
Yeah.
Scary.
Oh, I was talking like hypothetical chat. You know, like the chat on a stream.
ChatGPT.
Well, ChatGPT.
Where is this guy at?
Dude, that shit is crazy. ChatGPT.
Okay.
Well, that is actually also
for you
true.
People who don't know, like, it is crazy. I'm sure a lot of people know. Like, we can't be the first people to do it. Obviously, we're not the first people. But, like, Cody thought it was mind-blowing that you could, like, just look up anybody in ChatGPT and, like, find a lot of information out about them. So I started doing this with my buddies, and I would do who would win in a fight to death. and I would just convince it, like, you know, my one friend's going to win, so make him the winner when I ask the question. And then I'd just screenshot it, and I'd send it into, like, my group chat of my friends back home. And my one friend who I knew would be upset about it didn't say anything. And then he brought it up to me when I went back home, and he was like, dude, Griezmann would never beat me in a fight. And I'm like, dude, according to ChatGPT, like, you know, it has him beating you.
Chat knows the analytics,
in a
too.
hypothetical matchup, fight to death, Griezmann has the tools to get it done.
Yeah.
So you're a little instigator, huh?
Well, I mean, someone's got to put a little fuel to the fire to get it going, so.
Yeah, just slap the ball on the ass. That's really all he is doing.
I mean, that's where you're going to, you know, make some things happen there.
Yeah.
Other than that, I mean, what would we have talked about? Stock market? Hey, I mean, that might be your expertise too, but
It's true.
Huh? What did you say? What did he say?
Thanks.
Sandy disagrees.
Allegedly.
Okay. Now we do have, what's your major?
Business.
So now we have finance here, but let's consider it all kind of similar.
Roughly business.
Right.
Yeah.
So we got 3 finance majors. Realistically, who do you think, this can be open interpretation, or this can be whatever you guys think, but who do you think would make the smartest business moves with $100,000 right now?
I think me.
Really?
Yeah. Hey.
No.
Really, but why? I mean, talk about
I
it.
just think I can.
He was the first answer, so I'll give him the balls to speak first, but I mean, I'm not sure.
It's all about, like, it's not about.
I'm going to 100%
He's
say
quick
that
to
it's
think
me.
about it, though.
That's all I got to say.
Well, it's good that you think.
If I'm being honest,
you should.
I respect the man who waits to speak.
You should.
Yeah.
You should think that you're gonna be.
Let's see what he has to say.
Sandy knows he's an imposter
I'm
here.
winning this
He's
because
just
I'm
gonna start. He's just gonna start welding
I'm putting
business.
the money right back into me, and I know me, and I know I'm gonna win.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
I'm $100,000. I'm gonna invest it in a business, and that business is ran by me, and I'm
Yep.
the one doing the business. So that's where
I'm not saying that I'll invest the money.
Yeah, I'm gonna start my own business. That's
Yeah,
what I'm gonna do.
that's what I would do.
I'm gonna make way more money than you.
Okay,
So
that's
I
good
work
for
harder.
you, man.
Yeah.
I'm gonna grow a money tree. I'm gonna grow a money tree, millionaire fast lane, if you know what I'm talking about. But
What type of seed goes into making
you gotta read the book. That's all I gotta say.
Okay. All right. Now, if I were to blind rank, no part or whatever, I don't know. I can't say anything without offending anybody right now. But
Oh yeah, because we haven't done that yet.
I think a few. Let's just say I think a few of these guys would do pretty good. Maybe one of them wouldn't.
Oh yeah, so you're gonna like hey.
Oahu.
I'm just kidding. I think honestly, my opinion is if you invest things that are like meaningful to you, they typically end up working out good.
Yep.
Like if you tell me to invest in something that has like nothing to do with me, I just won't care enough to like do anything with it. Yeah. Versus like if you tell me, I don't know, anything that matters to me, like say my family, friends, wrestling, education, like I'd care about that type of stuff.
I agree with that because like especially if you invest in something money wise with that, it doesn't feel like you're working
Yeah.
It just, if you enjoy doing it, so the money essentially doesn't matter.
You guys, once you learn that, I mean, I shouldn't say like once you learn that, but like it is pretty much just about that. Like there's people who, you know, they chase success because, you know, they want the fame or whatever, X, Y, and Z. But like, if you look at the people who are great at what they do, they typically just love it to begin with. Mm-hmm. Like, let's go like Messi, who's the soccer player. Like, yeah, he probably just loves it to begin with. He started when he was a little kid, and it's just all he ever did. Or I don't know. We could debate on who the GOAT is, but let's call him LeBron James for now. I mean, he just probably loves playing basketball, and I mean, yes, he's a genetic freak, but I mean, he loves it. He puts in the work, and he's good at it. And you could do that. I'm just talking about sports in general right there, but in anything, like my dad, like he loved like kind of like creating and a little bit like he was a little bit like artistic, but he liked like making things with his hands and like hands-on work. And yeah, I mean, he was like creative, I'd say, and started a sign company, and that's what he liked to do. And then things just kept going on. For you, maybe it'd be welding. For you, pasture-raised eggs, maybe, or being based. And for you, it's probably learning your geography.
Oh, yeah. All right, here. I want to go back on that a little bit. So I was scrolling through Instagram. I saw this thing of Alex Hormozy posted. He said,
"Who?
Alex Hormozy."
Okay.
Have you heard of him? Nope. It's like he basically started. He ran successful gyms, and he's just been like growing his portfolio of businesses and stuff now. So then he said that
Sold those though.
I'm not exactly sure.
Yeah.
Oh, you do?
Wrote a book called Gym Launch.
Oh,
Dang.
you watched it or read it?
Dang, well, he's your
Great book.
the source on this guy, I guess.
Okay. So, anyways, he said on Instagram it was something about like if you wait until everyone tells you your idea is going to be successful, that's when like you're going to go nowhere. Because like,
dude,
it's not supposed to be.
Yeah.
So, anyways, I wanted to bring this back to my entrepreneurship class. We were in groups. We all started with $5 each group. Sure. Got $5. Okay. I told them my idea, which was to go to a gas station and start washing people's windows.
Good idea,
And
actually.
People thought I was fucking stupid for that.
In the class?
Huh?
In the class, you're saying?
No. Like when I was talking to my peers, like people on the wrestling team. And
I might have even hated on it a little bit.
Yeah, you guys thought it was stupid, but then.
Well, there's dumber things you could have said for sure.
Okay. No, but here's
that backhand compliment there.
Where I'm going to this though is that we made the most money. So we had $5, 2 hours of work to make as much money as possible, and we ended up winning the.
What'd you guys?
Contest.
You only got $5 to start what you're doing. Mm-hmm. So what'd you pick up, like rags and spray or
we
what?
can use our resources. So
Sure.
I already had microfiber towels, and then we just bought a bottle of window cleaner from the gas station. It was $4.49, and then we went outside just asking people, blah blah blah. Can we wash your windows, basically? And then the way we got paid was that we just told them however much you think is fair is what we got.
Yes.
Like the lowest what we got was $5. The highest was $20.
No way.
Mm-hmm. So then at the end of the challenge, we ended with $97.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
And what did like second come in?
Nowhere near us.
Wow.
I mean, I think
Okay.
I forget.
Now, Cody, you kind of got a little bit of leverage right now. Now let's run it back to the 100K question.
Okay.
Now revamp why you're.
Why would I do it?
No, why you would be better.
Why would I be better? Because I don't really care what other people's opinions are. I'm going to kind of do what I think is right and stuff. So it's like.
Well, okay.
Yeah.
As long as I think if everyone does that. Then
well, I mean, like
it'd be good.
Going back to what Alex Hormozy said, if I waited for everyone, like talking about my business ideas, waiting for that, what's that word, like that?
Perfect time?
No, like for like reassurance.
Oh, yeah,
basically.
reassurance.
But it's like, no, that's not how you do it. You just.
What's his name? Alex Hormozy?
Hormozy. You guys should check him out. He's pretty good.
It's actually crazy the amount of like stuff that he's put on YouTube that he just puts out for free when like everybody else would charge money for it.
Why?
It's pretty crazy.
He makes like or courses.
I think he has some like for really high tier. So he basically runs a company that oversees $1 million companies, but not like huge companies, like within the $1 to $2 or $1 to $5 million range,
Sure.
and then he tries to get them to like the $100 million range. So that's pretty much what he does now. But he basically started from, he just like took a whiteboard and started talking about business on YouTube. And he did that for years and years and years, and it just took off from there. And he talks a lot about how you have to give, constantly give, and then at some point you'll get back, pretty much.
Another good one that I've been watching a lot was Cody Sanchez. It's this chick who's like, I don't know too much about her because I just recently started watching her, but she's like,
Is she hot, Cody?
she's a good-looking woman, but she's
She's got the same
good.
name. She's got the same name as him.
Yeah, I mean, she's good at what she does.
Okay.
What?
Same name?
What about her though?
Yeah.
She gave
Enough about the looks.
She breaks down businesses and stuff and kind of like goes into a deeper dive into it and like says why this is good, bad. Blah, blah, blah.
Is she the one who's on like the basic stuff, like car wash, that kind of thing?
Like laundromats, all
Yeah.
that stuff, yeah.
Hold on. So, okay, hypothetically, if you guys could get a huge, let's say, gift of $100K to jumpstart whatever your business is, what would your business be? You can't invest it. You got to buy equipment, do whatever you want to do for that $100,000. What's your business?
Could I buy an existing business or would it be you gotta
Let's
start
go.
from
You got to
scratch?
create. Yeah.
I mean, right now, what I've been thinking about doing was pressure washing for the summer. So,
We got a guy on the team who does that.
yeah, Clay.
Which, I mean, I don't know what his plan is for the summer, but yeah, I think he did pretty well with it. So
Yeah, I definitely think your safest bet is some sort of service.
For sure.
Yep, for sure. Like power wash, mowing, welding. Yeah.
honestly, welding is crazy. Like, it's like I only know just the slightest bit about it, but just scratching the surface, you can kind of tell like there's a lot in welding.
Yeah, you can start out making $100K a year.
Yeah,
It depends like where you want to go, what you want to do, how much you want to work. But
I had a friend in kind of through middle school. He was my neighbor, but like his dad like would travel to like different countries for welding jobs, and I think he made like 100. I don't know, kind of crazy.
Yeah,
good
probably
amounts.
that's like the pipeliners make a lot because they have to travel. I mean, you're gonna travel, but you're making a shit ton of money. Like
What
most
about-
of those guys will do it for like 5 years and then they'll get another job.
What about underwater welders? Like, is there a lot of money there? Or
I mean, yeah, but like, there's not as much as you think. Like the need for it isn't as high as like just a regular welder. So I mean, and it's a little risky too, because like when you're down there, someone's up there controlling your life with like the airflow and stuff. So like while you're going down, they have to like do it right. Because if not, then you die. And then when you're coming back,
Pass
up,
on that, bro.
Like they have to mess with the pressure gauges and stuff. And
That's one job that I would like AI to take over.
Yeah.
Know what I mean?
And for that, they'll give you like an extra $1 an hour.
all you see when you're down there is this. So that's all you see. You have tunnel vision. Fucking.
I feel like you'd have to like control your heart rate down there. You
It's
know?
like sharks out there and
Yeah.
shit. It's not
Yeah.
for me.
He's sticking to above ground.
Yeah. That would be a lot. I mean, that
would be a
insane.
lot.
But like, yeah, the welder shortage just keeps going up year by year.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
So like, I mean, people are obviously making more money then.
Yeah.
So
Supply goes
Yeah.
down, demand goes up.
Yes, sir.
it's
When you start
huge.
your own business. Make a lot of money.
Now let's talk about like, or what I was gonna say, like, where did you come up with your business like mind? Like when you grew up.
So, I mean, in elementary, I was a little hustler. So, what's it called? You know how those Supreme stickers were big?
Yep.
So, I ordered like 100 pack from eBay, and I'd sell them for $1 each at school. And then I went into like, I would go to Sam's to get the variety box of candies and sell them drinks and stuff. So, I was like the candy man in elementary.
You fit that. You fit that
Yeah.
persona so well. Like I could so see you going around. What's up, guys?
Yeah.
Want one?
Yeah.
But you're really good at it, though. Is what I'm saying. Like not everybody has that.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. And then, what's it called? And
Scamming.
no, we're not doing that. My junior year, I started this.
OnlyFans.
No. All right.
Okay. Cody, you're just too funny to joke about.
Thanks, man.
Thanks. Okay, keep going.
So my junior year, I started this. Actually, it was my senior year. I started this candy business. It was called Menehune Treats.
Okay.
It was like Hawaiian candy, basically. So it's this thick powder called lihing moi. It's like dried plum and stuff. It's pretty good. But I'd put that in candy, mix it up, sell it, put it in my bag, put my logo on it, and sell it at school, sell it at my wrestling practice. And then the way I would actually make a lot more money was I would sell it in 5 pound, all packaged. To kids at my wrestling club, I would say 5 pounds. I forget how much I would charge, but a lot less, so then they could go sell it. So that's like how I like made my real money, was by scaling by getting them to be.
That's
like
actually kind of cool,
Mm-hmm.
dude. You're like a little Gary V, basically.
Gary V. I used to love watching him in middle school.
There's this other guy, all about hustling, but he's made a lot of money, and I always saw him on my TikTok. I can't remember what his name was, but he was like real estate. I don't know how he started, but he was just all about the hustle. And I mean, he ended up making like a ton of money, and he's like only like in his 40s. It's just kind of cool.
I think that's like a big goal of mine, is to retire young. And
Dude, low key, take that $100,000 and just go all out on Supreme stickers.
So I don't know about that now.
Flip it to $200,000.
I mean, there could be a way to do it, but yeah. Biggest goal in my life though is to like retire my parents. So it's like that's the goal. You know, let's get it. So.
All right, Jax, I got one more good question for you. Who's the most impressive person you've ever met? And why?
Boy, I would have to say, I don't know. I have to say like a guy like Donald Trump or whatever, just because of like, or I've ever met though. I don't know. I mean, maybe he's
Donald Trump.
Maybe he's not a great answer. I mean,
The fuck you mean? He's the president.
right. I mean, he's a good candidate for sure. But like for me, most impressive, like, I don't know. There's different things that I guess I value a bit more.
Yeah.
I don't know. Okay, let's go. Or ask the question one more time. Most impressive person.
Who's the most impressive person you've ever met?
And why?
And why? I've never thought about that, like, impress me. But, like, I would say, like, more respect-wise, I would just say my dad.
Yeah.
Just how much he's done and just how, like, selfless he is for our family. I think, like, that is probably the most admirable thing. And to me, that's impressive because it's really hard to put people in front of you.
Yeah, his dad gets up at 3:45 every morning.
I told Bo in the story, but yes, my dad, his name's Dan, and he gets up every morning, sometimes earlier now because he's just adapted, but he gets up at 3:45 no matter what every single morning. And when it comes to the weekends, he might sleep until about 5:30. But I'm serious. And, I mean, he knows a lot about waking up early, too. I'm sure his dad does. But, like, I think from my dad, like, growing up, I really didn't think anything of it. But now it's like, boy, I don't know if I could ever do that. Most people I know couldn't do that. I mean, only people that I really know that do that are, like, farmers, you know, because time really doesn't exist when you're on a farm. I mean, you just kind of always got to do the next thing. So I think, from my dad to do that. And then there'd be some nights to where he would take me to wrestling practice. So he would go to work. He gets to work at 4:30, and he would work till 5 p.m. And he would pick me up, and we'd go straight from my house to club practice. And it would be an hour-and-a-half drive to Eau Claire. And then from there, I'd practice. He would go work out during that time with one of the other wrestlers' dads. They would run, and then they would come back and lift weights in the wrestling room sometimes. But then we would drive back, and sometimes we don't get home till 10:30. And it's like, even though we got back at 10:30 and he's been up at 3:45, he still wakes up at 3:45. And then, like, to me, I shouldn't say, like, to me, I think that's very impressive. Just because I don't think I could do that.
Yeah.
And, like, honestly, I don't understand how my dad does it. Like, I'd probably mentally break just after, like, a couple of days. Like, that's just crazy to me.
I feel like the only way that that's possible is, like, how your dad's so passionate about his business.
Right.
It almost makes you excited to wake up.
Yeah.
You know, and I feel like you could only do that if you were in a position like that. Like, if you're going and just exchanging time for money, there's just no way that you could do that.
Right. I think, like, if there's a cap to what you can do in a job, then you're only going to meet whatever the cap is.
Yeah.
It's like no matter what, you're going to make 80 grand this year. And it's like, okay, well, I'll do whatever I need to do in order to get the 80. Or it's like, you know, you can make like a salesman. You can make as much on commission as you sell, whatever. It's like they try really hard. Like I don't know, I'd say it's more your personality. If you're a salesman, you'd do really good at it. You know, if I maybe wouldn't be a great salesman, but, like, I'd get motivated for other things. But, yeah, like, I think my dad, he's really passionate about it. And then, like, my mom, you know, now they kind of run the business together. But she's like, just as excited as he is, too, you know. So it's kind of cool because now they work together. They didn't always, but they do now. And, like, what else was I going to say? Oh, yeah. I'll never forget we went to watch the Olympic trials in Iowa City, Iowa, back in 2012. And we drove all the way through the night and got home at 5 in the morning. And my dad dropped us off and went to work. And he drove the whole 8 hours.
Wow.
Went to work. And then he came back. Actually, I think my grandma went up there and she would help clean. You know, and I think she went up there that day and she told him to go back and take a nap. And he did. But, like, to me, like, that was...
This guy's like Superman.
Yeah, to me, that's like... I mean, I don't know. It's just... Yeah, I mean, that makes you want to do, like, a lot of things for a person who's willing to do that, you know? And, I mean, yes, did he love what he was doing? I would say for the most part. I mean, there's definitely parts of the job that you don't love, but that's everything. It's like with wrestling. I love it, but I don't like cutting weight.
Yep.
You know, and... You know, I think, but then for the most part, I think it was like probably like my family that motivated him to do what he did and just keep going. So, and then for him to, I mean, I don't know if I ever remember him ever missing any one of my sporting events, even if it was like a little league baseball game. Or like, I remember like my 7th grade year, I hated playing baseball. I shouldn't say I hated playing it, but at this point, I really didn't care. I knew I wanted to wrestle. And he still like came to like every game. And it was like, to me, like that meant everything, and it's just pretty sweet.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's awesome.
Well,
So let's get back into the season. So, like,
sure.
halfway through the season, you had a rough point. I mean, we all know what went on. So, like, can you?
I kind of speak about that too, I guess. But
can you, like, dive into that? Like, what was going through your head? As much as you want to get into, you can leave out whatever you want. Just, like, kind of, like, give us, like, what was going through your head? Like, what were you thinking? What emotions were you feeling? Kind of why you thought how you did.
I would say, like, yeah, that was probably, like, one of the lowest points I ever hit was, like, which is crazy. Like, I hit a low point, the lowest point I've ever hit, and then also achieving, like, the best thing I've ever done when in my sport, but, like, or in our sport, or like one of my goals, but like in this season, it was about Christmas, and I had a glimpse of like how good I could be in the very beginning of the year when I went toe to toe with a 4th place All-American at an Open, and then I felt like I did not see any of that within me again since I saw it like with him. Even like my parents, they knew it too. Like they're so impressed how I wrestled in the beginning of the year because they're like, wow, we haven't seen you wrestle like that in a long time. It looked like, you know, you had passion, you had fire, you know, everything like you want to have when it comes to competing. And then I felt like I started to lose it again. And then I would lose to a guy who I just didn't think was better than me. And I would get upset. And then it was like I had just such a terrible outing when we went to Florida. And I was like, this is just the dumbest thing ever. Like, I don't get it. Like, I swear, like, I deserve to be better than what I'm at right now, but I keep losing to people who I didn't think I should be. And I was just pissed off because I was like, damn, this isn't what I thought college wrestling was going to be. I knew it was already harder than what I thought last year, but then in this moment, for whatever reason, it was harder. I just like thought like I'd figured it out a little bit better and that, you know, this and that, but no, I kind of broke a little bit, went back home. You know, my parents are the ones that helped me through it. But then, yeah, I mean, they just kind of helped get me back to where I needed to be. And then with that, I was like, you know what? It's not necessarily the winning that's important about this sport. It's just, you know, kind of the way that I've been looking at it. I was looking at it in such a bad light. So I started to do a little bit more like sports psych meetings with our team, sports psych doctor. And then I even did like our on-campus, whatever kind of lady, I can't remember what her name is. But, yeah, and then through that, just kind of kept getting better over time. Like I don't know, like my hate for what was going on kind of went away. It was like, even if I lost, I guess to me, it wasn't like the end of the world like it was kind of before. And then, yeah, I mean, that was pretty hard, but like at a certain point, I just stopped caring about the wins and the losses. I just started caring about just making the most out of whatever I was doing in that moment. Mm-hmm. And then, yeah, my dad, he really grilled that into me, like, you're wrestling because you want to and not because anyone is telling you you have to. And whatever you want to do, just it's up to you. And then it was like, wow, like I could kind of quit if I really wanted to, but it was like deep down, it was like, that's not what I wanted to do. And then it was like, there's so many times to where I just remember my dad taking me to practice late at night, and it was just like, there's just too much that I put into this to just not keep going.
Yeah.
And then, I don't know, it was like, I would say like fell back in love with it a little bit again. And I mean, there's still things that I don't love, like when it comes to like cutting weight, but it was like, to me in the beginning or in that middle of the season, it just wasn't worth it. I felt like everything I was doing wasn't worth it. I felt like I was just driving circles and I wasn't ever going anywhere. But then it was like, I felt like I started to figure a few things out, and yeah, things, I guess, worked out, you could say.
Yeah. So. That's crazy, like, to have the lowest low and I would say the highest high within 3 months, 4 months.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
It is kind of crazy. Like, that's the type of stuff that I've, like, read about
yeah.
a little bit. And even in my head, like, I didn't know if it was possible. Like, or I should say, in my head, I knew it was possible, like, what I was chasing after. But it was like, how can I do this, like, just a little after when I hit, like, rock bottom, it felt like. But it was like, it happened. And it's like, it can happen. And, like, I don't know. What was it? My mom she said this quote here and there, but it was like, those who hold on to success. Oh, I'm going to botch it. But anyways, yeah, I was really happy with just me alone, just finishing the season. I wouldn't have needed to All-American in order to feel like so much gratitude that I had, but obviously it makes it better. So
yeah, it's really awesome to see kind of like how it unfolded and how it went.
I think it's like even bigger too. Like,
yeah, it's even better. Like, do you think it's better now that you went there and then you're here?
I would say for sure. Like, it was like the movie Unbroken, you know, a little bit like that. Like, although there wasn't much that he gained other than just going back to his normal life once he got through that, but like, or I guess, yeah, I mean, but like, yeah, I mean, I got through that, and then I got through that real hard part, and then it felt like things just kind of kept getting easier. And then it was like the harder I worked, though, things kind of got easier. So it was like sharpening your sword or your axe to chop down the tree, whatever. But yeah, like, I think, like, for you guys, I mean, you guys have everything you need to in order to be the best wrestler you want to be. And, like, a story like mine only just helps inspire. Like, I didn't really think, like, to be honest, like, I guess I did not think, like, I was going to All-American, but I just didn't think much of it when I was doing it. Like, when I became an All-American, it was like, holy crap. It was like, it took a long time for me to just realize, like, how much I had to, like, overcome. And then it was like, I felt like if I did it, then, boy, in my position, like, it just goes to show like how much more we can do for the guys who don't got to touch like that, that valley. But like, yeah, it's just pretty cool.
Yeah, it was really impressive. Definitely inspiring too.
Yeah,
it's
for
like,
sure.
and it matters so much like for this university as well. It's a big deal. It's impressive.
Probably one of the best things I've ever watched live on TV.
Oh yeah.
I mean, we probably had the house shaking. We were like jumping in the air, going nuts. We're like, yes!
Yeah.
So freaking happy for you, and just obviously what you went through and what you got to and you achieved. It was like, let's fucking go. It was awesome to see.
That was sweet.
Then you got to meet old Donald.
Yeah. Can't believe you want to take a picture with me.
Yeah, true that.
Yep. That's like all anyone cares about too. Just, oh my gosh, you got to shake the president's hand. It's like, yeah. Dude, this was kind of cool actually.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know exactly like what a podcast was like, but it's just casual.
Just let it
Just
rip.
shooting the shit.
It kind of takes some hits at Cody, but
Yeah.
he bounced back with showing that,
The Candyman.
he deserves a bit more
The
credit.
Candyman,
Yeah.
Yeah, the
Start
Candyman.
calling it Candyman.
Yeah.
That's
I
right.
can make some candy.
You should run it back again.
I had some. It was pretty good. He gave me some.
I people talked about it, but I never really saw it even. I didn't even know it was that big
Yeah,
of a thing.
kind of.
I told him he should start doing it here, so to like the union.
Yeah. What you should do is you should take that one guy that kept giving you that duck meat that he was getting after going hunting.
Oh,
Then you should take it and then just sell it.
dude, that fucker was good. Though. I remember
Yeah.
so bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, that stuff was good.
That was really good.
Really good.
Hey, buddy, you got any more of that duck meat? I would like to just cook some more for some of my friends. Yeah, I got a whole bunch right here, a couple pounds actually.
Have as much as you got. That's
Dude,
okay.
and then he's getting, told later that week, yo, did you see that kid in their dorm was selling that duck meat? And you gave him? What?
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be a Cody move right there.
No.
All right, but
All right.
Yeah.
It's
Okay.
good to have you on, Drax.
Yeah, thank you,
a lot.
Drax.
Appreciate you boys big time.
Appreciate it.
See you on the next one.
Yep.
Hold on. We gotta you guys gotta have some crazy outro.
Oh, we already have that preloaded.
Do you? All right, well then forget it.
Yeah.